Hi everybody, it's Paul. The person filming this is backed up far enough that I can take my mask off. This video is for Pearlworks, and I want to give a little history of my relationship with Pearlworks, and I want to talk about guitar making, because in the end, inlay work goes on guitars, and what are the fundamentals of guitar making? But before we talk about that, Larry Seifel, who was the godfather of Pearlworks, came to me and took me to lunch, and he said, Paul, I want to change inlay work forever. I want it not to be done with hand saws. I want it to be cut with CNC machines, and I want to start with your birds. And I said, I'm in, let's do it. And we started a long history of work with Pearlworks, which included the first Dragons and the guitars that we did with the vines and the flowers and all the birds, and God knows how many designs that we've done with Pearlworks over the years. And it all started with that lunch with Larry and his first CNC machine. And we have a very beautiful history with this company. That said, if you're a guitar maker and you want to learn guitar making, there's a list of rabbit holes you have to go down. There's a list of art forms you have to learn, and I want to go through that list with you. Now, I'm not going to tell you what you'll learn in these rabbit holes, but I want to tell you what you have to investigate to become a good guitar maker. So let's go down. The first is the weight of the guitar and how it balances. Say this thing's sitting on my lap without me touching it, it makes a difference. There's a whole art form around the neck of the guitar, whether it be the headstock, its shape, what the tuning pegs are, how the strings go from the nut to the tuning pegs, what the angle is this way, what the angles are that way, how thick the headstock is, what the neck's made out of, the wood, the truss rod, which decides whether the neck curves this way or this way, where you put the nut, where you put the frets, all the inlay work that Pearlworks does. There's the shape of it, the finish on it. All these things make a difference. On the body of the guitar, you've got the bridge, which is where the string starts to vibrate. You've got these magnetic microphones, which are called pickups, that have a frequency response to themselves, and which pickup is on and how loud it is and how much treble they make, and how the thing sits against your body and all the shape of it. All these things make a difference, and you're going to have to go down and go down these art forms, and you've got to learn them. You've got to learn about neck shape, and you've got to learn about fret position, and you've got to learn that the frets are calculated based on the 12th root of 2, 1.0594631. And the reason I remember that number is because in the old days, I had a calculator, and I used to have to calculate the fret positions, but there was no memory in the calculator, so I had to keep putting the number back in over and over and over again. There's a fingerboard glued on. There's a way to put the truss rod in. There's just so many art forms that you have to learn. And inlay work is one of them, and Pearlworks is completely dedicated around this art form of inlay work. Inlay literally is you take a piece of shell and you put it and you lay it into the wood, and you get these beautiful inlays on the neck. We've also done inlays on the body, Dragons. Pearlworks has done stuff for Martin where they've inlaid the whole acoustic guitar. Believe me, there's a deep art form in inlay work, and if you hope to be a guitar maker, I would recommend that you learn each of these art forms that I've spoken about. There's, just to mention pickups again, there's a whole history around pickups. Whether they were made by Gibson in the 50s or Fender in the 50s or Gretsch or Rickenbacker making lap pedal steels. There's so many ways that you can make a pickup, and you need to learn all those things. You need to learn about the length of the string, which they call the scale length, and how that changes where the frets are, and the neck angle, and how high the bridge is up off the body, and how high the neck is up off the body. And anyway, I'm going down this list because I think it's informative for any new guitar maker who wants to learn the art form. It's almost like music in a way. You've got to learn rhythm, and you've got to learn melody, and you've got to learn harmony, and you've got to learn song structure, and you've got to learn the tones that you would want to get out of your amplifier or your drums, and you've got to learn how to mic things up in the studio, and you've got to learn how to work with other people, and you've got to learn how to be in a band, and how to apply for copyrights with songs. There's so many things about being a musician. There's so many different ways you have to learn in order to put it all together to have a career as a musician. And for me, you know, I've got a career going as a guitar maker, and music for me is a beautiful hobby. I love it. I think it would have been wonderful to be a professional musician where all the income was coming from playing music, but that's just not my path. For Pearlworks, their path has always been inlay work, and boy are they good at it. So from me, and from everybody at Pearlworks, I want to say hello, and I want to thank you for watching. I hope this has been informative in some way and helpful. See everybody. Bye-bye.